Hello, I'm Pastor Dave, and this is our sermon recap for Monday, January 29th, 2024. Here we go. Our passage this week was the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verses 1 through 5. And in this passage, God condemns Israel for failing to follow his command not to intermarry with the Moabites and end up following Moabite practices. Now, this sermon continues our series on the hidden idols in our lives. And this week, this hidden idol is actually other people. Now, when we look to other people, we have an interesting thought about them being idols. In some ways, it makes perfect sense because we use that word about idolizing someone or someone's our idol. But we don't think of it in the worship sense. But we can easily do that because occasionally we make other people into idols for our adulation and attention. And this is really going beyond looking up to someone. And really, this begs the question, where's the line? What's that line between just looking up to someone and trying to emulate practices versus basically worshiping one? And it's another way of saying what we already know, in that we can give too much attention to what other people think. This is really where we start to see that go in, because it's not trying to get to a certain point. It's not trying to grow. It's not respecting someone's art or talent, but really wanting them to like you and doing what would make them happy. And one of the ways we see this is something very common in our world today, and that's through influencers. Even more than celebrities, influencers play a big role. And influencers exist to use famous people to get us to do what someone else wants us to do. The term influencers is perfect because basically their point is to get someone to do something. And it's not always what that person wants, but what someone's paying them to promote. And that's where these hidden idols really come in to drive us away. And this is where we need to be on guard, because when we let people influence our opinions or dictate our actions or preferences, we make other people into idols. We're not respecting their art or their talents, but trying to become what they would want us to be. And this isn't just about famous people. This can also be our friends. It can be members of our family. It can be our children. It can be our spouses. And it comes about when we start placing the acceptance from other people higher than it should be, and even taking that to a higher point than we respect God's opinion. And this is something that happens all too often. And through all of this, it's good to know who our God is, because Christ knew that not everyone would respond to the gospel and his followers would face opposition. Christ knows there's challenges as being faithful, that others will try to lead us astray, just as the Moabites did of the Israelites. The challenge for us is to keep people in their proper place within our lives and not turn them into idols, and instead stay focused on God. So that's your recap for this week. A reminder, we worship Saturday night at 6:30, Sunday morning at 10:45, and we live stream the Sunday morning service at 10:45 on the WSUMC Live Facebook page. But until next time, I'm Pastor Dave, and I hope to see you in worship.